Hello everyone, welcome to this channel named Geeks for Geeks School, and also those who have joined this lecture on my channel named 𝙁𝙤𝙙𝙞𝙖. I welcome those also. So today we are going to learn about how can we make a translator app in Thunkable. Right. So the first thing that we have to understand is the process that we need to follow for accessing the Thunkable platform. So what you can do, you can write down Thunkable over here in this search bar of Google and hit the enter button. So this is going to redirect you on a beautiful web page where right on the top you will find a hyperlink through which you can access the required website of Thunkable. Right. Let's access this one. So Thunkable is just like code.org, where we guys can use block-based coding for developing responsive mobile applications. And if you have the knowledge of website development things, definitely you can create magical things without using any code on this beautiful platform. So what the first thing which you have to do when after coming on this platform is that you have to log in onto this platform. How can you do that? Hit this login button and it is going to redirect you on this beautiful web page, the URL of which is x.thunkable.com/login, and you guys can then make use of your Gmail ID or whatever ID you have for creating your profile on this platform. If you already have a profile of your own, on this platform, definitely you will be redirected directly to your dashboard the way I have come on my dashboard. So because I've already logged in through this ID of mine, that is the reason that link redirected me directly on this beautiful dashboard of mine. Now after coming to your dashboard, you need to hit this create new app option and it is going to redirect you to this beautiful window. Now you can put a name for your project in this input box. Let's have Google into your translator. Fine. And then you can choose a category if you want. So I would like to choose community and entertainment. Right. And once you're done with this, you can hit this create button. So right from the scratch we will be developing this Google Translator app. Fine. And if you are right now on your device, I would like you guys also to repeat the same, do the same thing which I am going to show you now in this tutorial. Okay, so this is the platform. Now it is divided into 3 different parts. On this first part, you can see all the components over here. Fine, and you just have to drag and drop the components over here if you want to add some component to your app. Then this is a mobile simulator screen, okay, where you will get to see the view of your mobile app, the way it is going to look on your mobile phone. Then there is one more screen over here where whatever component you're going to select, its properties are going to reflect over here. If you want to modify the appearance of the component, you can make use of these properties. You can change the values and get the desired output. Right. So let's begin with designing the first screen. So on the first screen, I would like to have first an animation button. Okay, and before that, let's define a row. So I'm going to place it over here. So you just have to drag it and drop it on the mobile simulator screen. Either you can do it like this, or else you can just drag it and drop it over here on the top. In that way also you can add the component to this screen 1. The name of this screen is screen 1. If you want to suppose change the name of the screen, select the screen and hit this button rename over here. So that's how you can change it to welcome. Okay, so we have a row component on this mobile simulator screen. Let's now add some animation to this row. So there is a component named animation that you guys can make use of for adding some animation to your mobile application. I am placing it over here. Okay, fine. So it is a part of this row, right? It is inside this row. Okay, now let's find out some animation on Google that we guys can make use of for our app that we are designing and make it look more appealing. So you guys can add .json files to this animation tab. Now how to find those files, that's what I would like to help you guys with. So what you can do when you come on this Google, just type out 𝙁𝙤𝙘 over here. So 𝙁𝙤𝙘 animation. So you will be redirected on this 𝙁𝙤𝙘 files and hit this hyperlink, which is going to redirect you on a very beautiful website where you can find all the kind of animations you can add to your mobile app you're making on Thunkable. Fine. Okay, so get started for free. So if you want to search for some animation, what you can do, you can come over here. I want to search for this swipe left animation. Let's see whether we have something like this or not. Yes, we have. Not swipe left, it should be swipe right. Let's search with this keyword. So when you will type out this in this input box and hit the enter button, these are the results you are going to come across. It's taking a little bit of time to load because it's JSON files, so they are quite heavy as in comparison to normal image files. And for your information, I would like to tell you guys that currently I am streaming this tutorial on 2 different YouTube channels. One is mine with name 𝙁𝙤𝙘𝙞𝙖, and the second one is GFG. Okay, GFG School. So let's go with this one. So we need to hit this, we need to click on this image, and automatically this is what you're going to come across. So right on the top on this window, you will be able to find this download option. Hit this option to download the file. So automatically this is a cascading menu you're going to come across where you will get to see these many options. I want to download the 𝙁𝙤𝙘 JSON format of this file. Okay, so it is asking me to sign in first. Let's make use of the Gmail account. So there are a couple of options available to you over here with which you can sign up yourself on this platform and enjoy the animated images. Fine. So I'm going to make use of this email ID of mine. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay. Let's hit this download button one more time and select this 𝙈𝙤𝙙𝙀 file. So I think this time it will get downloaded directly because I'm already signed into this platform. Yes, so the file is here with this name 28099 file. Now we need to come on this Thunkable platform again, and let's select this animation tab over here. Okay, now how can we add that JSON file to this animation tab? We need to come over here in the properties section and make use of this animation property. So when you'll click on this input box, automatically these are the two options you're going to come across. Now you can hit this upload files button and choose the relevant file which you want to upload for this in this animation tab. So it is going to redirect you to one of the location present on your computer. And it's very easy to use. Thunkable, just like code.org, Thunkable is also very easy to use. You guys can use it very easily, and it's very simple. Besides being a simple platform, it's also very convenient and user friendly. So it's taking a bit of time, no problem, we'll wait. Okay, so now I think the file has got downloaded in the downloads part. Yes, so it's with name swipe 28099. This is the one, right? Let's select this file. So after selecting the file, when you will hit the open button, automatically it will get uploaded, and after some time the file will be visible to you over here on this beautiful animation, on this beautiful mobile simulator screen. So this is a file, right? The animation is visible to us. Now if you want to increase the size of this tab, what you can do, you can come down. Let's make it 300. Okay, so that's how you can increase the height. And if you want to increase the width, let's change it to 300. Fine. So we have this animation tab inside this row, right? So what we can do, we can make it make the size of this row equal to this animation tab. How can we do that? We can select this row button and let's select fit contents in place of this fill container. So now this is what is going to happen. So now the row, now the content is perfectly fit inside this row. Okay, fine. Now besides this, I would like to have a label box also on this first screen. So what we can do, we can write down label over here, and we can then drag it and drop it right at the bottom. Okay, so the label is visible to us over here. If you want to shift it to the bottom, what you can do, you can drag it and drop it like this. Just a second. Or else we can, no, I don't want to put it inside the row. I want the row to be above the label. Yeah, like this. So that's how you can make the adjustments. Fine. Now what I want to get reflected in this label box, let's write it down over here in this text property. So swipe right to begin. That's what I would like to see getting reflected in this label box. Fine. And if you want to customize the appearance of this label box, it's very easy. You can make use of these properties over here. So let's change the background color first. How about blue? Okay, and let's have white for the fore color. So white is going to be this. Yeah, now it is looking nice. Fine. And then if you want to play with the borders of this, you can make use of this border property. Let's make it 50. 50 is a width. Okay. Then if you want to define some space, if you want to have some space in between this row and this label box, how can you do that? You can make use of this margin property. Let's have, no, 10 pixels is not good. Let's make it 60. Yes, it is a good option. How about 100? Yeah, 100 is perfectly fine. Right, and let's increase the padding also. So I would like to have a padding of let's say about 20 in the bottom, 20 in the right. So it is going to give us some space inside the component like this. Swipe right to begin. Okay, and let's have some border radius also, so as to make these borders over here go round. Let's have 30 for the border size. Yeah, now it is perfectly fine. Okay, so that's how you can customize this animation, this button over here, right, this label box. Okay, do we have something in this advanced section? No, there is nothing. Fine, so we are done with designing this first screen named welcome. Now we are going to create one more screen. So how can you create a new screen on this Thunkable platform? That is the first thing we need to understand, right, before designing that new screen. So you can hit this plus button present right below this screen name, and this is what it is going to do for you. So it will create one more screen. Okay, and you'll get to see the name of the screen getting reflected right on the top. See, that's how you can navigate in between the two screens. If you want to come on this welcome, you can do it like, you can just click on this welcome and automatically it will redirect you to the welcome screen. If you want to go on this screen one, you can just tap on this and you will be redirected on that new screen you have created. So I would like to first change the name of this screen to home. Okay, fine. Now the first thing that I would like to do for this home screen is let's have a label box right on the top of this home screen. So I'm placing this label box over here. Fine, and I am renaming it to output label. Okay, so this is a label box I've placed on this home screen. Then we can have one input box in which we can in which the user can write down something. So text input is the required component. Let's drag it and drop it over here. Okay, I want to see this label on the top of this input box. So for doing that, we can make the adjustments. From here we can drag it and drop it like this. Now the label box is on the top of this input box. Fine. Similarly, I want to have a button right below this input box, so we can type button over here. Fine, and let's add this button to this home screen. Okay, so now we have a button also. I want to see it getting reflected below this input box. So let's make the required changes. I just have to drag it and drop it like this, and the position is going to change. Okay, and besides that, let's have one more button. Okay, and I would like to drop it over here. Now I want to see it getting reflected below this button one. So that's how we can make the adjustments. Fine. Let's have a list viewer also, in which we are going to add all the required information. So list viewer, not all the required information, it is going to help us in pulling the information from the local database that we will be adding to our app. Okay, and all the information will be visible to the user in the form of a list. So that's how we you can utilize this list viewer component. So when you will drag it and drop it over here on this screen, it is going to come like this, but I want to see it getting reflected right at the bottom. So that's why I'm dragging it and dropping it over here. Okay, so now this is what I'm getting over here. Let's now customize the appearance of this screen to make it look more appealing. So the first thing that I would like to customize is let's change the name of this label box. Okay, I've already changed it to output label. That is completely fine. So we will be making use of this label box for getting the output reflected. Okay, and then let's change this text input 1 to input box. Fine. Now in this input box, the user will be required to make the input or to write down the input. Fine. And by default, I want to see this thing getting reflected inside this input box. Type something here. Fine, and let's place these dots. Okay, now if you want to increase the width and height of this input box, you can come down over here. Let's change this one to if I'll make use of this option, let's see what's gonna happen. 50. Okay, so that's how you can increase the height. Similarly, if you want to increase the width, you can change it to this option. Let's make it 100%. I think this is going to be a good option. 100%. No, 100 is going to be something like this. I don't want it to cover the entire width. Let's make 50. No, 50 is not looking good. How about 70? Yes, 70 is fine. And let's reduce the height to 30. I think 30 is more than enough. Or how about 60? Not 60. 50 is a good option, but why is it not looking nice? How about 45? Not 4 or 5, I want 45. Yeah, it is better. Let's increase it to 80. Yeah, now this is looking perfectly fine. Okay. Now if you want to change the padding thing, you can do it like this. About 12. No, 12 is not fine. I want to see it getting reflected somewhere in the middle. So 40. Okay. About 90. Yeah, now it is perfectly fine. Left, I want to see it getting reflected somewhere in the middle. So for doing that, we can just make use of this left option. 45. No, it is going to shift it completely in the left side. I don't want to see that happening. Let's make it 23. 23. Okay. How about 28? Perfect. Fine. Then if you want to change this is visible to us by default. Okay. I want to define some border for this. So you can make use of this option, border. Let's have a border of 2 pixels. I think this much is fine. And what is the color you would like to give to the border? So I would like the color to be yellow. I think this is going to be a good option. Okay, and radius 78. No, 78 is not a good option. Let's make it 23. Yeah, perfect. Okay, and how about 20? Border width 5. And style we need to select. So I would like to see a solid border. So that's what you're going to get finally as an output after making after defining the required values for these properties over here, for these border properties over here. Okay, now I want to shift it downwards. How can we do that? So we can make use of this margin top property. 10, no, 40. Yeah, 40 is I think fine. Okay, and then let's come on this button 1. So the first thing that I would like to do is, let's change the name of this button 1 to translate. Okay, and what is the text I want to see inside this button getting reflected? So this is the text translate, which I want to see it getting reflected, which I want to see getting reflected inside the button. Okay, and coming down, let's change the background color. I don't want to have this blue color. I think this, how about this orange? No, and green. Yes, I want to make it more colorful, right? Okay, and then in order to shift it down, we guys can I think make use of this margin top property, so as to create some space in between this what we call it, input box and this translate button. 30. Okay, so it has shifted now to this position. You want to have some padding? No, already padding is there. What kind of border radius do you want? 75 is more than enough, I think. Okay, I want to see it raised. Fine, so that's what you can change. You just have to hit this raised option and it will, you have to make it true just by clicking on this option. Okay, and then you want to see it getting reflected in italics, so you can hit this option. Now the text inside this button is going to get reflected in italics. Okay, so this is also looking nice, right? Fine. Let's now customize the appearance of this button, that is button 2. Now the first thing that I want to do is let's change the name to select language. Okay, and I want to see the same thing getting reflected on the top of the button 2. So making it select language. Okay, and then I don't want to have any kind of background color for this one, so I am making it transparent. Now how can you make